Hey you guys, D Rose. Hope everyone is well. I'm here to do another video for you guys, and this video is the hardest video ever for me to make. I'm about to say some really uncomfortable things, and I just want to get my story out there, and I feel like God is leading me to tell the story, and maybe it can help someone else out there. So yeah, I started making like faith-based video like a year now since I came to Atlanta. And I mentioned in my first video about a haunted house I grew up in, so I want to talk a little bit about that. And then in my Atlanta video, I mentioned about witchcraft. I didn't really have clarity at that time what was really going on. I just, briefly, like God kept putting that in my spirit that something is going on, but I didn't really know. But now I have gotten clarity, so I'm going to elaborate on how God delivered me from that witchcraft. So anyway, growing up as a child in our home in Brooklyn, I used to suffer with a lot of sleep paralysis. When some people call it night terrors, I used to get that a lot, and it didn't help that our house was haunted, and we didn't even know. We only knew that after the fact, years later, after we moved to Florida, that something was wrong with the house. After everybody started telling their stories, what they experienced, because it was a three-story home and it was just full of family members, and other people experience stuff, but I'm just want to say a little bit what I experienced personally, what I experienced amongst my immediate family. So I would experience a lot of the sleep paralysis, and yeah, every now and then you'd see stuff in the home, and I remember it was at one point my brother was even scared for me because he seen something trying to get me. And I don't want to go into too much details on everything because then the video would be too long, and it's not about the haunted home. So anyway, I know my parents used to watch a lot of horror movies, and then I would watch it with them because I wasn't going to stay alone in a room by myself. And I would watch it with them, and then at nighttime, it was the hardest time to sleep. Nightmares, sleep paralysis. It was just crazy. And a lot of times we watch these crazy movies, horror movies, and not know that you leave an open door for bad spirits to come in. You know, that's how they enter in. From certain movies we watch, or certain music we listen to, or certain people that got bad spirits on them, so they enter in really easily that way. And then I remember my family, they used to go to a lot of psychics, so people that you call psychics a lot. And also as growing up, I was into a lot of psychics. I was always into psychics, calling psychics, and not knowing that these things are open door, for bad stuff. These things are bad. There's a lot of form of witchcraft out there that a lot of people don't know that they're dealing with witchcraft. They don't know about tarot cards. They don't know about the horoscopes. I just found out that's a part of New Age, and they don't know about you're praying for someone, praying for their downfall, or praying using objects. You're supposed to be just praying and praying to God alone. Not using objects and stuff. People do stuff to try to capture a mate, all kind of crazy stuff people do, and they don't know that's witchcraft. It's wrong. It's not of God. So I don't want to say that my childhood was crazy, just scary and spooky. For the most part, I feel like my childhood was good. I had a happy childhood for the most part. It was fun, a fun childhood growing up in Brooklyn. It was just the night times that was crazy in there. So growing up now as a teenager, moving to Florida as a teenager to adulthood, it was happy. I had a happy time, happy life. And then things took a turn when I got to my early 20s. There was someone that was really close to me, and I'm just gonna call her Sue because I don't want to put nobody names out there. I'm just gonna say her name was Sue. We were really close, and Sue had a boyfriend, and that came into our circles, and her boyfriend didn't like me, and I didn't know why. I mean, I know we had in the beginning, we had like a little disagreement, but it wasn't so bad, so extreme for you to like hate me on another level where you wishing me death. I would have never think that. So Sue had this boyfriend that didn't like me, so I would go over to Sue house sometimes, and then her boyfriend would be fussing about me being there and then lighting candles all over the home. And it was weird. And I would be like, whatever, this is weird. I'm going to ignore the negativity. But then I remember I asked Sue, like, what is he doing? Some type of spell. And then Sue said to me, I don't know. And the way how Sue said that, it just looked like she was like in another world, like in a trance or something when she said that to me. But I still just ignored it, like whatever. Then there was another episode that me and Sue boyfriend had gotten to a disagreement. You know, we would get into disagreement, stuff that he wouldn't like, and then he would come, let Sue be the one to come to tell me that he didn't like this or whatever. And he would threaten me. The next time that I seen him, he threatened me, and he threatened me with a gun, not directly, but put a gun laid out on the table for me to see when I went over to the home, as to show me like, look what I got, you know, to scare me. You know, I did take the gun seriously, but still I didn't take it seriously enough, like this person that really hates me to death. So anyway, that was one of the episodes. Then, you know, I noticed that my life started getting really crazy on another level. It was rough. Started getting sleep paralysis again on another level. And I started having a hard time, finance issues, hard time on the job, relationship issues, hard time in my apartment I stay in. I don't know why I was always picked on all the time with my landlord. I was getting doors on notes on my doors all the time about some kind of problem. It was just crazy. Like life was hard on another level. And I remember I said to my brother one time, I said to my brother, you want to trade lives? And he said to me, no. And I just thought that was weird. I thought that was really deep that he said to me, no, he didn't want to be me. He didn't want to be me. I wanted to trade lives with him. And he said, no, he didn't want to be me. I thought that was really deep. And that really stayed with me that he said that he really thought that, wow, my life was really full of just bad luck. And all this time I wasn't a praying I wasn't a church-going person, I should say. I wasn't a Christian, didn't live that type of lifestyle. I was always a praying person. I was always spiritual, but wasn't a church-going person. And I would never, ever have the thought of believing anything about witchcraft. You know, I was like a lot of Christians believe, like those things are not real. Those things are not real. If you don't believe it, it can't happen to you. That's how I was thinking. But not knowing that these people was really on another level. They were on another level where they sold their souls and dealing with a demon level of it. And so that was like higher than whatever anointing I had. So, and then by me being like, when I did become a Christian, I was like on a lukewarm side. So, you know, I would, you know, still play certain music or go to parties, or, you know, give a door or open door for certain stuff to still come in and still attack me. Okay. So, yeah, so my daughter would experience stuff. We would be in our home, and my daughter would experience stuff as well. She would become running into my room. You know, she's seen something or she heard something, you know, and I thought that was really, really, really crazy. I would pray so hard for her, you know, and once in a while I would see stuff too, you know. All these things just push me to pray, you know, push me to pray really, really hard, you know, and, you know, and I don't want to say every day was crazy, but it was a lot of things that would happen often that was like traumatic. So anyway, let me see. I had a really bad accident one time with a cop. A cop had hit me and I was left unconscious on the road, and someone witnessed, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, and I survived, of course, and I felt like this was all a part of this. These people was probably praying against my life, but they wasn't gonna have my life because God was still in control of everything, you know, that was happening. So anyway, I remember experiencing that. It was a real traumatic accident with the cops, and it was just always one thing after the other with Darnett, and I just feel like I didn't really experience. I don't know how to say, a lot of compassion for what I went through. I felt like I was always treated as an outcast. It was like, oh, whatever, Yeah, this happened to Donette, but it was like, oh, whatever. I was just everything I was going through was just taken lightly by the people around me. And what else happened? And one time I had got really sick, really, really bad. It was the worst sickness ever. I was experiencing the symptoms as if I was poisoned. I was throwing up, had diarrhea, and begging for someone to help me to take me to the hospital, and there was nobody around to tell me to take me. I would call Sue. Everything I would call Sue, because me and Sue was just so close, and everything I did was involving Sue, you know. With this whole thing with witchcraft, you don't know, these people have a control over you and you don't know it. It's like a soul tie, a bond is forming. You don't even know what's really happening, that these people are really controlling you. So anyway, I had that really bad sickness and had to be rushed to the ER. Had so many trips other than this to the ER. I was always in the ER, but this one was really, really the worst. I had the pain, unbelievable pain, bawling in the ER, and I called Sue. Sue was there to, you know, to come help me, to come see about me. I called my ex-boyfriend. My daughter was there, and still, I just felt like everyone was just standing there, just taking it just lightly, and I was there screaming in pain. And after I got admitted to the hospital, after I came out, they still didn't really understand what had happened to me. They didn't know. It was like no diagnosis of what happened. And so yeah, those are some of the things that I can remember that I was going through throughout the years. And then I want to go to fast forward years later. I had a surgery, a really big surgery, and I called Sue to help me with the post-surgery, and my daughter was there, and it was a really bad surgery where it was a really big surgery where I was under the knife for a long time. And when I came out of the surgery, I had this weird feeling like something was trying to tell me something, that this person don't like you. This person don't like you. Beware. It's like something was trying to warn me. And not knowing now that I know now, that was God trying to warn me, you know, that this person does not like me. And I'm like, why am I thinking that? That is so weird. And it was Sue, you know, it was like somebody was trying to tell me Sue do not like me. And I was weird. Like, why would I have that thought? Sue means the world to me. Sue is here. Sue is here. And I would never even have that idea, like, other than that time, because me and Sue were so close, so connected. We had some time where we just, you know, happy times and we got along and everything. So I would never think the worst of Sue. So anyway, I had that feeling, and I remember that night I went to sleep and trying to get some sleep, and then all of a sudden the sleep terrors, whatever you call them, started to come back again and was really strong on another level. And I was like, whoa. I woke up and I was like, oh, God, please protect me. And I tried to go to sleep, and then the same thing would happen again. And I was like, I woke up again and I asked God, I said, God, is someone trying to do something to me? Don't like me? What's going on? Someone trying to attack me? Let me know. Tell me who it is so I could know. And then I went to sleep, and God showed me a face. And the face that he showed me was Sue's face. And I was like, no way, no way. I'm not believing it. No way, God, that was the wrong face. Show me who it is that's really trying to attack me. So I went back to sleep. God showed me the same face, Sue's face, and said, no, it is Sue. And I said, no way, no way. I still didn't really want to believe it. And I just remembered, before I went to the surgery, I remember I spoke to my dad, and he was kind of concerned about me having this big surgery. He told me, make sure you read Psalm 91, okay? It's very important you read Psalm 91. And I said, okay. And for some reason, I remember that, and I woke up out of my, out of the nightmare, and I said Psalm 91. And once I said that, I went back to sleep and slept like a baby. So, after all of this, experiencing all of this, I still was in the blind, like still thinking, oh, that was nothing. That was just a bad dream. That was just nothing, whatever. I'm not just going to ignore all of that, what happened. So anyway, I remember another time I was having bad nightmares, and I had a bad dream of a person home, like certain activity going on in this person home. Then I realized this is Sue home I'm dreaming. It's like God was trying to show me little signals, and I was not getting it. I'm like, why am I dreaming something bad going on in Sue home? So yeah, it was Sue home, and I still took that lightly and didn't take anything serious. So, fast forward years later, when I felt like God was trying to tell me to move out of Florida. Um, so I remember I gave up my place and I stayed at Sue house for the couple of weeks, until everything is ready in Florida. I remember my daughter was feeling uncomfortable and she wanted to just hurry up and go. And while we were there, there was some activity going on in that home. They were in the room with incense, lighting up incense often. And I was like, I had no idea why are they lighting incense? And I remember the next morning I asked Sue, one of the mornings I asked Sue, why are y'all lighting incense in the room like that? And Sue was like, I said to her, really, I asked her, I said, are y'all trying to do some type of spell? And Sue said to me, no. And I was like, why did she say no like that? It was just like a dry no. I expected her to say, no way. Like, why would you say that? I expected her to laugh about it and say, why would you say something like that, to me? I expected that type of reaction, but it was just like, no. And I'm like, okay. But I still ignored it. It was like, whatever. Me and Sue is just like this, so I don't think the worst of Sue at all. So anyway, I remember we decided to our road trip to Atlanta, and I remember on our way going, Sue had something to warn me about. Oh, I forgot this other part. Yeah. And rewind a little bit. I did introduce Sue to this friend that I have had that lives in Atlanta, that I felt like we were so close, and I really was into this friend, and we were getting along so great, and I just was really happy about this person, and I introduced Sue to this person. And right after I introduced Sue to this person, everything started going downhill in our relationship. It was like all that love turned into I cannot stand you. Like we both felt like we couldn't stand each other. And then I started, now that I look back, it's like everybody I was introducing Sue to, our relationship started going south. So on our way to the road trip to Atlanta, Sue called me to tell me, to remind me, remember that person that you introduced me that lives there? Make sure you stay away from him. And I'm like, why? And I'm like, didn't take it too didn't want to get too much into the conversation. I just let it go. I'm like, whatever. I know I'm coming to Atlanta because God is telling me prosperity is there, healing is there, happiness, with my business, with relationship, that He had so much of a breakthrough because I really, really need a change in life. So that's what I was focusing on. So anyway, it was like Sue was seeing something in that person that I had introduced her to. Sometimes the enemy knows stuff, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Sometimes the enemy know what a person is supposed to mean to us in our life, and know, what God has for us in life. All the good things that He is trying His best for it not to happen and come to pass, okay? So anyway, in my beginning stage of coming to Atlanta, I was having a hard time and didn't know why. I'm like, the place that I applied for a really, really pretty home, and then I got denied. I'm like, what's going on? And everything I do, I was on the phone with Sue and telling Sue everything I was doing. And, I was getting denied and was having a hard time, and felt like wasn't really, just crazy stuff. And then once I got through with the apartment, I was getting notes on the door. I'm like starting to experience the crazy things that I was experiencing in Florida. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm expecting this to be the land of milk and honey, all laid out with roses, everything to just go smooth. But it was kind of hard, like really tough in the beginning. So anyway, I was getting sleep terrors again and getting it on another level. Like, you guys, the sleep terrors was bad, where sometimes I would hear the bad spirits. I experienced, one time in Florida, I experienced something in my ear, came into my ear. It wasn't a sleep terror at that time. It was something that came into my ear really loud while I was sleeping and said, I am going to kill you. Yeah, scary stuff like that I was experiencing. And not knowing nothing about any witchcraft or curse. I don't believe nothing in those things. Never believe anything. If I don't believe in those stuff, and I pray to God, I don't believe those things can harm me. So, All I know is that I just got to pray. I got to pray. And it was like to the point where I always felt like I have to pray so hard. I couldn't just say, no, I will lay me down and sleep and just go to sleep. I had to pray, really, really just pray. I couldn't just come home from work and be tired and just fall asleep. I couldn't just take a nap without praying. Because if I do, I will have these crazy nightmares, or the sleep terrors, the night terrors would come on me, stuff like that. I was getting attacked. So anyway, those are the things I was experiencing in the beginning. So I had met someone around late last year, and this person prophesied to me and told me my whole life story, and told me that these people have been trying to put an attack on your life all this time. These people have been praying against you for your downfall, for whatever reason, whatever purpose, and whatever reason God allowed it. And I'm like, oh my God, this person is reading me to a T, like for real. And it was still hard for me to believe because, like I said, I love Sue. There's no way I'm thinking the worst of Sue. And it was still hard for me to believe. And sometimes I still go back and forth because I love Sue. But everything lines up together like this is for real. For real. These people were really praying witchcraft on me like that, for real. And the things were easily attacking me because of me being like a lukewarm Christian, because of me, being around certain things with certain music, or allowing certain music or movies, or allowing certain things in my home that left an open door for the witchcraft to, continue to work in my life. But God still won't allow more than you can bear, okay? So anyway, so once I realized what's going on and realized God really delivered me from this witchcraft by bringing me to Atlanta. So I realized what's going on, and I've been praying against it now. And little by little, I realized my life is getting better. I'm experiencing a little bit more breakthroughs now. Some things are coming together a little bit more now. I feel like it's taking a process, but it's coming together. And I don't feel so much like an outcast, although I'm away from family. I feel like I just feel like a little shift. I can feel a shift. And, I've been into intercessory prayer. And, I have to thank God for the good and the bad that you go through. You have to thank God for the good and the bad, because if I didn't go through these things, I wouldn't pray so much and realize what God is trying to lead me to. So I'm into intercessory. I'm into intercessory ministry where I pray a lot, and God has led me to this point where I'm just praying for so many names, especially in these last days. I'm just praying really hard. And if I didn't come here, I wouldn't be this close to God and have this relationship with God as I do now. If I was still in Florida, I would still be that lukewarm Christian and still allowing these things to attack me and not knowing, that I can get closer to God. I wouldn't have been able to get into my Bible. I never even opened up my Bible when I was in Florida. Okay, that's how I was kind of far away. So anyway, I feel like as I'm into intercessory ministry, I feel like there's deliverance ministry for me and healing ministry there for me. So it's always a reason and purpose to go through the things that we go through. I've been able to help 3 people so far that experience similar things like me with witchcraft, not like what I went through, not exactly what I went through, or not extreme what I went through, but certain things they went through or going through, I've been able to help others and pray for others that are going through these type of things. So it's been a long journey, but I'm getting there, and I'm going to get everything that God has for me, everything that the enemy think that they were trying to steal from me. So God is still good through it all, and I will give him all the praise and glory for getting me through it. And you guys, sorry guys, I didn't want to get emotional. I was trying to be strong. I didn't want to get emotional. So I just give God all the glory. And I know I'm strong. Thank you guys so much for watching, and continue to pray for, let's continue to pray for each other. And like this video and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys stay blessed.